Manawatia Matariki, and a very good morning to you all out there. I hope you're having a great morning. I've kicked it off, had a cheese scone, thoroughly enjoying my morning. Got Whale Rider on the big screen inside, and looking forward to getting back in there to watching a classic New Zealand movie. This morning we keep it short and sweet. Just run through some of our results from last week. Get through our games on today and games on Saturday and games on Sunday. So we'll crack into the show. She's been a busy old week getting ready for the Chiefs Tackle 5s. So we've got the primary school Tackle 5s coming up next Wednesday at Puaringa Park in Rotorua. So looking forward to that with 48 teams coming from across the Chiefs region. Also to note there, the Bay of Plenty under 18 and under 16 15-a-side tournament. So for more information, go to the Bay of Plenty Facebook page, or if you want a bit more on this one for the girls there, give Jess a email at jess@boprugby.co.nz. That's all about getting our girls out there and playing 15-a-side tournament rugby. Right, let's take a look at what's been going on around the motu. We'll start with the Baywide Premiers from last weekend. Whakarewa, too good for Greta Maris, 45-14. Big win for Tauranga Sports at the Domain, defeating Tupuna 53-22. And the Mount, they got a win at home over Rangatawa by 31 points to 22. And the Te Puke Pirates, they had a bye to end the weekend off. Taking a good look at the table there, Whakarewa, they are now out in front with a game in hand on 43. Te Puke on 40. Tauranga Sports on 27. Greta Maris round out the top four on 25. Mount Maunganui on 24. Tupuna on 20. And Rangatawa finally got another bonus point in the bank. They're on 2 points. The Baywide Development men's. Greta Maris 27. Went down to Whakarewa with 29. Tauranga Sports 27, defeating Tupuna 20, and Mount Maunganui getting a win over Rangatawa 62 points to 14. A quick look at the development table there with Whakarewa out on top there, Mount in second, Tupuna in third, and Tauranga Sports rounding out the top four. Baywide Colts results there. Te Puke 76, big win over Te Papamoa 7. Mount Maunganui 62, getting a big win over Te Teko 0. Greta Maris 67, defeating Taupo 12. And Marison Michaels going down to Tauranga at home 35-12. Across into the Western Bay, it's the last round of the round robin there. Last games of the round robin in the Western Bay. A tight one at Gordon Spratt with Arataki just getting up in that one, 26-22. The ED men's, they knocked over the side that was leading the competition up until that match, 20-19. Katikati Stags dropping down the competition ladder, and a big win for Rangiuru over Judea Matakana by 54 points to 5. Central BOP seniors. Marison Michaels getting the win over Waikiki 29-7. Rotoiti, they continued on their run with the Ty Mitchell Shield, winning 25-19 over Nongotaha. No result on the app for Eastern Pirates and Riparoa, and no result for Kahu and Murupara. And across onto the east there, Waimana, tight battle with Poroporo getting up 20-14. Pāroa, another tight one, getting up over Opotiki 19-17. Another tight one here, Edgecombe getting up over Te Teko 23-19. And then Matata, they got up over Ruatoki with a 33 points to 0 win at Ruatoki. And in the East Premier, Opotiki continue their great run, 52-19 over Pāroa. Tānei Atua in a close battle with Poroporo getting up 24-15, and Marist getting a decent win over Ruatoki 31-0. Te Teko had the bye. And the Baywide Women's Championship there, Whakarewa, they would just continue their run of mounting points, defeating Arataki by 66 points to 0. A close one here. Shout out here to Izzy Northcroft, who kicked all her goals, which was the difference here. Waimana scored 4 tries, Gretton scored 3, but it was the boot of Izzy Northcroft which saw the Gretton Maris Gurnards over Waimana 21-20. Opotiki getting up over Kau Pirates 49-24, and a huge win at Maramatanga Park for Tupuna over Te Quick glance at those points tables there. Whakarewa out on top with Opotiki just behind them. Tupuna back in third. Kau Pirates round out the top 4, and then back down the ladder. Gretton, Waimana, Arataki, and Te Puke at the bottom there. And some interesting results coming out of the Baywide Premier Women's. Rangatawa knocked over the previously undefeated Mongotaha 17 points to 14. Ruatoki got up over Tongariro at home by 32 points to 17. And some will say this is an upset. Others will say, no, we've been in it since day one. And great to see people are actually watching the show, because I saw some comments about us picking Mount last week. Well done, Poroporo, getting up over Mount Maunganui Marlins by 24 points to 22 over in Poroporo. And a quick glance at the points table there. Nongataha still out in front, but the rest of the table are catching up. Nongataha 31, Mountains second on 27, Rangatawa right behind them on 25, and then we've got the battle for that 4th spot at the moment. Ruatoki on 17, Poroporo on 15, and Tongariro down there on 4 points. Let's just move quite along. As I was saying, we've got tackle 5s on at Puringa Park on Wednesday. Chiefs teams coming from right around the bay, from Thames Valley, from King Country. So really looking forward to that. 24 boys teams, 24 girls teams going to battle for the tackle 5s trophy for 2025. That all kicks off at 9:35 Puringa Park, Whakarewa Rugby and Sports Club. So if you're not up to much, get along to Puringa Park and support our Year 5 and 6s as they go out there to take out the crown for tackle 5s for 2025. Quick look at some games on this afternoon. So if you aren't up to much, get out there and support your local teams who are out there playing this afternoon. Te Puke Pirates, they're taking on Tauranga Sports at the Pirate Ship. That game kicking off at 2:45. This game is going to be a great one. Tauranga are just starting to find some form at the back end of the season. Te Puke have just got a lot of pace, a lot of power, and I would say Te Puke to get this one, but Tauranga will push them. At Gretton Park, Gretton Maris are hosting the Mount Marlins. Mount seem to be running hot and cold this season, but this would be a day for the Mount to knock over Gretton. They'll be still hurting from hiding from Whakarewa they were last week. So both teams will be really looking to put their mark on this game. I think being at home with a boisterous crowd, Gretton Maris might just get the nudge on this one. I'll go Gretton Maris by 5. I see Lalo Milo is back from Super Duty, so he's back out running in the midfield for Gretton Maris. So he could be the difference here. And the only game being played tomorrow there, Rangatawa, they are taking on Tupuna. That game kicking off at 2:45 at Te Ariki Park. This will be a great game. Tupuna, they need to find some form to try and regather themselves back into that top 4. Rangatawa, as we said the last couple of weeks, they can be the party poopers here and start knocking teams off that are looking for a top 4 finish. So good luck to those teams. I'll go the way of Tupuna just in this one. Over to the Baywide development, very much mirroring the Premier Baywide. Te Puke taking on Tauranga, kicking off at 1 o'clock. Gretton Maris taking on the Marlins. That's at Gretton Park at 1 o'clock. And Rangatawa tomorrow hosting Tupuna at Te Ariki Park, also kicking off at 1 o'clock. And both the Whakarewa teams have the weekend off. Looking across into Central there, Eastern Pirates this afternoon are hosting Nongotaha. We've got Murupara, they're hosting Marison Michaels. And then tomorrow, we're back into Saturday duties. The Tai Mitchell Shield goes on the line with Rotoiti defending it against Kahukura at home. And also tomorrow, Waikiti are hosting Reporoa in that battle for the Battle of the Central as they hit mid-round of the second round. All the best to those teams tomorrow. The Baywide Colts, they've got the weekend off, so the boys will be putting their feet up and hopefully getting out and supporting their local teams. Across to the Western Bay, this is semi-finals time. As we mentioned earlier, Arataki, they got up and just nudged Papamoa to get that second spot to host the Katikati Stags, who unfortunately lost to Eastern Districts and dropped down to third. So that will be an absolute humdinger of a battle. There's only been a few points, as I read on the Western Bay Facebook page, only a few points in these games. So this one will go down to the wire. May even go to the rule of 10 minutes each way extra time if the scores are tied at the 80-minute mark. So how good would that be? 100 minutes of rugby to try and find the winner. And Rangiuru are back home at Centennial Park. They're hosting Eastern Districts. Rangiuru, the front runners in this competition at the moment. So good luck to those teams in that game. Across the east, in the Senior A competition, Te Teko hosting Ruatoki. Opotiki are hosting Edgecombe. Waimana are hosting Pāroa. And Matata, they are hosting Poroporo. All those games kicking off at 2 o'clock. And in the Eastern Bay Premiers, Tānei Atua hosting Pāroa. Marist, they are hosting Poroporo. And Te Teko are at home to Ruatoki. Opotiki, they've got the weekend off. And across the Sunday, the Baywide Women's Premiership, Greta and Marist are at home to Tapuki. Arataki are hosting Waimana. Kahu Pirates are hosting Te Puna. And Opotiki are hosting Whakarewarewa. And onto the Baywide Premier Women's Competition, Nongotaha, they're hosting Poroporo. This will be an interesting battle. Nongotaha, they've seem to have a few injuries at the moment. Poroporo just seem to find their straps. So might go the way of the visitors in that one and pick Poroporo to get up over Nongotaha. Mount are hosting Ruatoki. This will be a very good matchup between these two teams as well. It's going to be a very, very tight battle, but I think just Mount being at home might just have the wood on Ruatoki. And Tongariro, Rangatawa hitting the bus and going down on a bus trip down to Turangi. Rangatawa, I think, will be too strong for this game over Tongariro. Folks, that's all we've got time for today. So get out this afternoon, support your local club. Get out tomorrow, support your local club, and have a great weekend. We can't forget the Chiefs are on tomorrow night, taking on the Crusaders. As you can see rolling across your screen, the starting lineup for the Chiefs. I'm sure there's plenty of viewers out there who will be pumping for the Chiefs to get up over the Crusaders. Fortunately, the cowbells have been banned from down those ways, but that's not a bad thing. Us Bay people aren't a fan of those cowbells anyway. So all the best to the Chiefs, and hopefully they can bring the super title back to the Chiefs region. But yeah, stay safe out there. Enjoy your Matariki weekend, and we'll see you all back on AR Plus Baywide Chat next Friday. Ka kite.